Hello, my name is Siobhan Robbins. I'm a former juvenile lifer. I spent 25 years at Muncie State Prison for a robbery that went wrong. After 25 years of being incarcerated, I'm here today to just say that doing life and not having the opportunity to ever present your case in front of a parole board is hard. There's a lot of women up there that are sick, passing away because they got 30, 40 years in jail for cases that went wrong. I wasn't the actual shooter in my crime, but I still spent 25 and a half years of my life there. I went there when I was 16, I'm 42 now.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Geyer, and I'm here to tell the story of my boyfriend, George Trudell, who is a lifer at Graterford Prison in Pennsylvania. I met George almost 2 years ago from the passing of my husband. He was my husband's best childhood friend, and I had known that he had been away for a really long time. So his family reached out to me to tell me that they were sorry for my husband's passing. So I sent a letter to George and sent him pictures of my husband so that he could have them in his memory. And we just started to communicate and talk back and forth. And George had let me know that he was doing life without parole for something that he didn't do. He didn't kill anybody. I read so many cases of men and women that are the second-degree felony murder law in Pennsylvania. It really needs to be changed. It's a tragedy. There are thousands of people in Pennsylvania state that are doing time and are going to die in prison because they were at a crime. They were present at a crime that happened where someone else took a life. In my boyfriend's case, George, the man that took the life of the person, he got out in 7 years. He's been a free man for over 2 decades, where my boyfriend, George Trudell, is sitting still 30 years later in prison, and he's destined to die there. That needs to change in this state. That is just not acceptable.
My name is Kempis Songster. I am a former juvenile lifer. 1987. I ran away from home, a loving home in Brooklyn, New York, to Philadelphia at the age of 15. 4 months later, after being recruited into an organized criminal organization, an explosive act of violence occurred that I was a part of that resulted in the death of a human being. And as a consequence, I was placed in prison for the next 30 years. December 28th, after 30 years of serving a sentence to life without parole, December 28th, 2017, that is, I was released. What I've done was very, very shameful. But what I've come to realize is that I can be more than that. I can be more than the worst thing that I've ever done. I'm finding great inspiration and joy in being able to give back, in being able to do something to make my life have some kind of use value to the community. And in my travels behind the prison walls, if you want to use the word travels, because you can't move, but my mental travels, my spiritual travels, the travels of my development, I've met many people who are just as useful, who would be assets to the community, probably even more than myself. I am not a fan of foreclosing any opportunity for the human capacity to transform and change. You know, I've met many people who are very capable of giving something good back to the community to try to offset some of the damage that they have caused in their own communities. And that's probably the main reason that I believe in, you know, the rightness of parole eligibility for people who are sentenced to life without parole, or more aptly known as death by incarceration.